Welcome back, everyone. It's been an incredible start to this week in markets. It's a busy week in markets indeed from an earnings standpoint and market data. We, of course, started off with a geopolitical positive. Oil dropped down over 6%, and we saw that pop the S&P E-minis up. You're looking at it on a daily chart over here above that key set of nested volume point of controls in the 75, 50 to 55 area, and we've then taken off from there. The technical signals were certainly supportive of this type of a move, and we'd called out in the market morning a move that could probably take us up into the mid 7620s. So far, that's well on its way and effectively almost there. Does this week hold higher highs for us? Well, we've got this interesting configuration on the weekly pivot levels that's more bullish for the S&P to reach the DeMark resistance 1 target, while it's more bearish on the NASDAQ. But the NASDAQ has given us a very bearish move that is now reversed. We've not yet come up and into the center of the pattern or above the key water lines for the NASDAQ like we have for the ES, right? The ES has done that already, and it didn't come down and break below the June 9th, 10th, and 11th lows. The NASDAQ did break below those lows, below that support structure, and did fall over. It did then come right back up and is trying to breach back up into it, but it's now acting as resistance. Can we actually see it follow through to where? Well, to the top of this downtrend channel, i.e. in and around the 29,150 area. Then evaluation would be required about whether or not it can carry on higher and break the downward slope that it's in. I think a bit of this would have to come with the ES really pulling the NASDAQ up, but there's so much tradability in this market. And yet again, live in the room this morning, there were a ton of great trades available, including one that's directly on the Triple S toolkit, and it's the pre-trade conditioning pattern. Well, if you go take a look at what happened right here shortly before the cash session started, we had an up triangle, a down triangle, 2 bars of separation, an up triangle, a down triangle, and we were left with an up. We need a minimum of 3 triangles separated by no more than 6 bars, and then we need to see 2 bars rising, one higher than the other, above the MSR channel, which did come into play here, or at least 1 bar with the double green dots and rising as well, and that came into play officially right there. So if one had taken the PTC pattern signal on the Triple S toolkit on that 5-minute chart, you know you're looking at 20 to 90 minutes, potentially longer, and right there at around the 75-86-ish area to 87 area, we've seen this market rise all the way up towards the 76-25 area. An incredible move. You know, you've got about 40 S&P points on an incredibly high probability setup that went live in the market, of course, during cash hours, and up, and away we've went. Now, we have to consider the current overbought condition that the market's in as a bit of a danger. Why? We probably have run out of a bunch of the bullish fuel that we would need to carry forward this move. And what am I speaking of? Well, the ES making it all the way back up to all-time highs. We probably are going to stall out below the DeMark resistance 1 pivot, weekly pivot line, have some indecision in this area before we can continue. That stall out is probably going to be coincident with the NASDAQ coming up into the top of that downtrend channel and starting to stall out in and of itself around the 29,100 to 150-ish area. Could we continue to see a melt up during the day today? The potential is there. It's still early in the day as I record this video. It's around 1:37 p.m. Eastern time. So there is still time in the day for drift to happen. But the fear that I would have is that we are a little overcooked, and the bigger move into the end of the day may actually be a modest pullback, getting ready for yet again another potential rise in the day or two in front of us. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look very much forward to doing these for you each day. And of course, that incredible PTC pattern with the Triple S toolkit worked again, and I traded it again today. I'll show you some of the results on it. Another 4-digit gain on the day, just over $1,020, as you can see there in my prop accounts, trading each account separately and with low contract size. In certain cases, the micros. So I hope that you can see we're going to keep coming back to the table each day. I'll teach it, I'll trade it, and I'll rinse and repeat and share my insight with you day in and day out. I wish you an incredible rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now, all.